Welcome to a new video, and yes, as the title implies, I finally visited Shenzhen. This was on my wish list for so long that I can't even remember when I first got the idea and where I got it from. This past October I was in Shenzhen and I got the chance to attend a big convention and also to walk around the Huaqiangbei markets for several days. So in this video I want to tell you a little bit about my trip, show you the interesting gadgets that I brought back, and just make a few recommendations if you plan to go there. First, a few words on travel. I took a flight into Hong Kong and spent a weekend there, which was a good opportunity to shorten the total length of the trip for the day, and then it also gave me a chance to briefly visit a computer/electronics markets and a toy market locally, but truth be told, they are very much inferior to anything you would later visit in Huaqiangbei. While you are in Hong Kong, you can also buy a SIM card, a physical one for your phone, from the street level shops. There are ones that work for both Hong Kong and mainland China. There's a whole process for registering with your passport on a special portal to get the SIM to activate. But once you've done that, you get lots of gigabytes of data and mostly unlimited access to Western services, which are otherwise blocked to locals. You can also opt to get an eSIM online, which is what I got, but that's just data. You'll get no number with that. And while in Hong Kong, the easiest payment method is if you get the Octopus app/card, which you can just top up from your international card. Then I took the high-speed train into Shenzhen. It's very affordable and quick, about 20 minutes or less, maybe 15, I don't remember exactly. And then you're already into Shenzhen railway station. But make sure you allow yourself at least 45 minutes between ticket purchase and actual train departure time, especially if you're doing this for the first time, because well, it's a long walk. You need to go through customs and security, and there can be queues. Now, once you are in Shenzhen, the first thing to keep in mind is that the blue taxis are expensive, about 3 to 4 times more expensive than what you would normally pay if you use a ride-sharing app, which is called Tindie. This is like their Uber, and I've also used Alipay for payments in Shenzhen. Everyone accepts Alipay, seriously, everyone and every place. You don't need anything else. And I highly recommend you book a hotel right in the middle of the electronics markets in Huaqiangbei, so you can walk right into the markets without having to use transportation. I stayed at the Huaqiang Plaza Hotel, which I highly recommend, excellent service, and Shenzhen felt very safe for the entire duration of my stay, but watch out for the shoe polish scammers. There are signs warning you about them, and they are all over Huaqiangbei. Now, if you come from any of the major European capitals or around, there is probably nothing you can find in Shenzhen that's worse than what you already see back home. In fact, I found Shenzhen to be nicer, cleaner and safer than any of the European capitals I've visited so far. Now, before I go on to talk about the actual electronics markets, the malls, the shops, where they're located, how they're organized, let me quickly show you the stuff that I purchased and brought back home. If you can, I highly recommend you purchase a second luggage option ahead of time for your flight. Trust me, you will find so much interesting stuff, it won't fit in your original luggage. So I'm going to show you a few of the items I got, tell you how much I paid for it, and also compare it to how much it would cost to get it from places like Amazon or AliExpress. And I'm going to start with this right here, this green Cat 6 Ethernet cable. This is a 10-meter long piece of cable, which the lady at the counter didn't want to take money for it because she said this is sample size. There's no payment needed for this 10-meter length of cable. Then I got some of these Keystone Cat 6 RJ45 jacks. I got this style, which is rated as Cat 6A, 8 RMB a piece, and then I also got this style Cat 6 pass-through, which was 9 RMB a piece. Now, 8 RMB is €1, and this exact Keystone jack can be ordered from Amazon for something like 2.3 euros. This pack of 100 pieces Cat 6 RJ45 plugs, this was 78 RMB, which is like 11 USD. This is a decent quality brand that you've seen me use before for cables. There are much cheaper ones available at the markets. On their AliExpress shop, this is the same cost, 11 USD or less depending on the discount, so it probably wasn't worth getting this one and carrying it over from Shenzhen. I got this roll of alpha solder, leaded one, which the guy selling it assured me this is a genuine alpha. This is 63 SNs, 37 PB, 0.5 millimeter thick. This is a 500 gram pack. The cost of this was 200 RMB, if I can remember that correctly, and this means about 24 euros, but I don't have pricing information for getting this exact model in the EU. I'm guessing in the range of 30 to 40 euros to get it locally, so again, maybe not the best thing to carry from Shenzhen back home, especially given the weight of this on your luggage. Then I got these three types of pliers, and the seller said these are good quality Japanese brand. I don't remember how much, but I think these were cheap. I just don't remember the exact pricing. But from the same shop, I also got these, big clean room wipes. These are the lint-free type that I typically use for cleaning PCBs. A pack of these was 20 RMB, so that's 2.8 USD. This is a very good deal because these are light and easy to carry, and they're much more expensive locally or from AliExpress, like I think at least 5 times more expensive to order these. I also got a bunch of these, different stickers that you can see here. These were generally 1 RMB per set, so if you get these locally, that's at least 10x the cost. But generally speaking, you can't even find these locally unless you get like a huge roll costing an arm and a leg. I also got a couple of Laifen hair dryers as gifts for the missus, and these are really nice, high quality, high performance, and the cost was unbelievable. I paid like 429 RMB, which is 52 euros for the SE2 model, and 399 RMB, 48 euros for the Laifen Mini. And then they also gave me like an additional 10% discount on top of that. And these are definitely more expensive in the EU. And if you ask me, they feel nicer than a Dyson. And also, you should know that generally you can apply for VAT refund if you're a foreigner and you plan to leave the country with these items. You just have to, the process is kind of difficult. You have to register and then go to a specific office. And yeah, I didn't want to go through that, but then you can get like an additional, 15-16% back if you do that. There was this shop selling all of the Xiaomi or Red Dot products, and I got one of these LS-P laser range finders for 95 RMB, which is like 13.4 USD. And I also got this Ratchet screwdriver set for 125 RMB, which is 17.6 USD. And these are, high quality products. I got this nice set of basic walkie-talkies for 200 RMB, which is like 28 USD. And they work really well. The guy at the counter even like connected them to a computer and programmed them and switched them to English language menu. I got a bunch of bits and pieces, like tiny switches that felt interesting to me, like this emergency stop switch, but the most interesting stuff here, la pièce de la résistance, I got this beautiful Aixun T380 soldering station that you can see here, and I got this fully equipped with the C115 and C210 soldering handles for micro soldering, each with a selection of 3 soldering tips. And I got these directly from the official Aixun shop, which was located in the mobile phone repair specialized mall, and the amount of tools dedicated to repair and soldering they had in there was crazy. And the total I paid for the soldering station with the 2 handles and the soldering tips, and it includes the USB Type-C adapter, the total I paid for this was 608 RMB, which is 86 USD. Now if you want to get the same set on AliExpress, it will set you back at least 200 USD. That is excluding shipping. And like I said, besides these, I got many other bits and pieces, toys for the kid, things that are not here on my workbench, all for really good prices, and they all feel like really good quality. And I'm telling you, my biggest mistake was not purchasing a second luggage. In terms of pricing, smaller shops tend to be open for negotiation if you purchase multiples or higher quantities, the one-man type of businesses. Well-established shops will have their price on display and is generally fixed, so I recommend you are respectful to these people. Don't try to negotiate absurd prices and don't force it if they tell you it's not negotiable. And now a few words about how these malls are organized. Well, they are generally category based when you look at one whole building. There is often also a mix of shops with lots of gadgets in the more touristic, traffic intense areas like ground floor with maybe more specialized stuff upstairs. Also, a bit of advice: Google Maps, Apple Maps, they all show very outdated satellite images, pretty much useless. So you'll want to be using the Chinese app called AMap for navigating these places, and generally speaking, just putting the names of these buildings inside AMap will get you there. To give you an overview, I will be using this crude map, which I found on this website. Sources will be linked in the description below. Since I was staying here in the Huaqiang Plaza Hotel, I started with visiting the HQ Mart number 2. I believe the real name is Huaqiang Electronics World. This was practically stuck to one side of the hotel building. Here's an image of how it looks at ground level. And by the way, this one is probably the newest, most renovated building out of the ones I've visited. And on the ground level floor, you'll find mostly electronic component distributors, which basically just sell reels of components. Then continuing up, you'll find the first floor full of electronic gadgets, smartphone accessories, drones, toys, you name it. Then going up, it starts to dial back to electronic components, reels, with the 5th and 6th floor being dedicated to LEDs, lights, and power supplies. Now, this is a mall where I also casually saw one of these robot dogs, seemed like a high quality ones. And I asked about pricing. I believe they said 2.5k for one of these, which I think it's a pretty good deal. And a word of caution here: if you see a well-known branded item selling for very cheap at one of these shops, it is likely a fake. If you ask them if the item is original or not, they will either tell you right away it is a copy, or they will pretend they don't understand you, or maybe they just don't understand. But trust me when I say that you will not find a genuine pair of Apple AirPods or whatever other well-known product for half the cost in one of these markets. Now, HQ Mart number 1 is where I got the walkie-talkies from. Ground floor, again, a mix of gadgets, drones, smartphone accessories, and toys. Some laptop and smartphone repair shops are at ground level, and this mall also contains shops for stuff like home appliances at the upper floors. SegCom is actually a range of buildings interconnected. Then Seg Plaza, which is a separate building at the end of the row of buildings. These are again filled with smartphones and gadgets in some cases, but also they specialize in the upper floors to more specific stuff, or in some specific building to more specific electronic components like lithium batteries, networking gear, computers, connectors, test gear, enclosures. And it's really hard to pinpoint anything. You just have to take your time and slowly visit each one of them. I also found some tools in here and also saw a bunch of security camera stuff and networking on some of the floors. The buildings behind HQ Mart have a more back of the street feeling. The buildings are less polished, but this is where you tend to find the more exciting stuff. This is where you see less of the gadgets, less of the smartphones, more of the electronic components, smaller shops, each dealing with something very specific like connectors, LEDs, motors, pumps, you name it. And that's where, for example, I got these switches from one of those buildings. I don't remember which one exactly. The Yuanwang digital malls are the ones full with iPhones, smartphones in general. They had the newest iPhone 17 in pretty much every shop in there. I don't know if it was fakes, if it was stolen, repaired, whatever. I just saw it on display in every shop in there. There were people smoking inside of these buildings. It was really hard to breathe in there. The second floor is where I found the Xiaomi and Red Dot products. So these ones, among other toys, gadgets, drones, and a lot, and I mean a lot of shops selling the same protective glass for gadgets. And at one of these shops I had like protective glass installed on my watch and on my phone for something like a few dollars for the best quality option they had. This building right here, which said robot parts store on a large banner, turned out to be a whole building, hundreds of small shops, multiple floors, specializing in just capacitors. I don't think I've seen another place that had as many capacitors in a single building. Somewhere in this green rectangle is the Longshan market, and these buildings specialize in smartphones and accessories. I think I've seen an entire building dedicated to just smartphone tablet cases, multiple floors, hundreds of individual shops. It was crazy. My eyes were hurting. And inside one of these buildings, called the Huaqiangbei building, I found the Aixun official store. It was, really hard to find. I believe the shop was on the first or second floor, and the access to that floor is done through a McDonald's at street level. So we circled the building for 30 to 40 minutes, tried every entrance until we found out that you actually have to enter through the McDonald's to get to that floor. This building was the one that specialized in mobile phone repairs, and you can find, repair shops and any component you need in here, any motherboard, any parts of a smartphone displays, the tools needed to perform the repairs, microscopes, soldering tools, whatever. There were lots of, small repair shops all around this. It was kind of tricky to find the entrance, but, in the end, after about 40 minutes, we finally figured it out. Also in this building, outside at ground level, there was a mechanic branded shop which had all of the mechanic products that you've seen me purchase in the past from AliExpress. Now, these malls are so large that they're connected one to another, so you don't even need to exit street level. You just pass from one building to the other through these tunnels. But there are so many shops, and so many of them have the same products on display, and so many alleys on each floor that at some point you're just not sure if you've been through that place before or not, because you keep seeing the same stuff again and again. Now, if you can, I would highly recommend you spend at least 10 days in Huaqiangbei. Otherwise, you just won't have the time to even pass briefly through all of the malls and all of their floors. I would end this video by saying visiting Shenzhen and Huaqiangbei is a must if you're an electronics enthusiast like myself. You absolutely need to see this place, and the only thing that has been on my mind ever since I returned is when do I get back to visit again. So that was all for today. It's time for me to go play with all of these new tools and gadgets. Thank you for watching, and as always, I would love to hear your feedback in the comments below. Until next time, take care.